It's kit unboxing day. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. It's time to unbox the latest card kit from Simon Says Stamp. You know the drill. I have not seen these products yet, so I will unbox them, share them with you, let it simmer for about 5 minutes, and then dive into creating 5 card projects in this video. I will have timestamps below in the YouTube description box if you want to jump ahead to a particular card or if you want to come back and reference something. The timestamps are there to help you navigate. We've got a lot to get to in this video, so buckle up. Much card making goodness lies ahead. That video is coming up next. Commence the unboxing. Ooh, all right. So first off, we see one of the Simon Says Stamp mesh zipper bags, which these open and close. I just love that, but they're so great for storing. I'm going to put the mesh bag aside for just a second as we open. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm trying not to reveal anything too crazy. There we go. The November 2022 card kit is called Full of Thanks. Now, we can see some goodness. Of course, we have a sucker for all of that, energy that you might need. But also, if you don't have these scissors, you are going to get our Simon Says Stamp Fine Detail Scissors. And I will say, having been working with these for a while, they are a wonderful small scissor, great for fussy cutting. I think there's like a Teflon coating. They don't stick to things, so it's an actual, they're non-stick stainless steel blades, little soft grip. They're wonderful scissors just to have in your craft room, so that is pretty cool. We also have, and here's what I'm going to do. Close your eyes. I'm going to flip the stamps. Now you can look. You're also going to get some of our very, very low tack tape. And this is a really wonderful tape for using with die cutting, foiling, stenciling, for holding things in place, but also it won't tear your paper. So that is very cool that you get to try this out in the kit. We have one Simon Says Stamp A2 envelope, white. Can always use a white envelope, really. And now let's see what these are. We have a new product to me. Here is a set of adhesive transfers from Decofoil. Oh, this is really great. Okay, does that mean I'm going to have to get my laminator out today? Oh, think that I am. Now, what is this? Okay, this is very cool. You are going to get, how many sheets are in here? 2 sheets. Look at the beautiful fall leaves. Oh, this is taking some thought now. This must be a new product. This is exciting to see because sometimes we see these in the kits and we don't, it's as much a surprise to me. I'm going to open this up because I don't know what this is. Oh, you're gonna get some foil. You're going to get one set of Decofoil. This is 6x6 and it is called the Autumnal Mix. So look at all these colors that you're going to get. Gold, kind of a pewter, orange, brown. But look at, there's tons in here. Oh, and the thing that I love about that, I love when you can make mistakes and you have lots of backup. That's a ton of foil. So if you've ever wanted to foil, well, this is going to be your chance. That's very exciting. Okay, this is a stencil set called Full of Thanks. I have a feeling it's going to work with the stamp set. Okay, this is kind of cool. Can you see the lines here? The lines in the stencil are separating the elements of the stencils, and they are multi-layered, and they are all divided with those same little demarcations. So I assume it's for this. I guess it's time to see, and I'm going to tell you, I love stamp and stencil sets for adding color. So let's take a look at the 6x8 set, which is called Full of Thanks. Oh my goodness, look at that. So this is gratitude but also perfect for the month of November. But honestly, you can send a thank you card to for any time of the year, and even like a little flourish like that would be beautiful, not just in November, right, with the little details here, but as I'm looking at this, all we're going to have to figure out for our card is, which one goes with what is, oh yeah, see? Okay, so when we're adding color to our stamped image, we just are able to line it up, then we go with the next layer and the next layer. So, is a little math involved? Oh, you know it, but look at how beautiful that is. Okay, that's going to be very fun. There is a lot happening here. My mind is swimming a little bit. Oh, you get a nice orange peel slimline card, right? One sheet of lipstick red, one sheet of bright yellow. I don't think I have this cardstock in my collection. One sheet of apple green or green apple, and one sheet of orange peel. So it's a really beautiful autumnal package. Again, we've got our scissors, we've got the low tack tape, we've got our layering stencil that goes with this, and there will be coordinating dies in the shop for these. I always link them below, but in the kit itself, you don't get the coordinating dies. And then, oh my goodness, you're going to get all this foil, and you're going to get the adhesive transfers. I don't want to open these yet because I want to make sure that I don't touch anything that I'm not supposed to, because I think what I'm going to end up doing is probably reading the directions and figuring out how this all works. So that's a look. I'm going to let this simmer, and also don't forget you will get a mesh bag. Of course, your mesh bag might be a different color than mine, so keep that in mind. We just kind of mix in different color bags, although I think the red is very cute with this. So, as I want to do, I will simmer here, sitting in the craft/dining room for at least 5 minutes, and then we'll get started. I want to start with doing stamping and stenciling because I think this is going to be very cool. So let's get started with some stamping. Now, I did bring out a couple sheets of white cardstock that I went ahead and cut down. I've got some in the 80-pound weight and some in the 110-pound. I want to be very careful that I don't distort this. Of course, for me, it's not that critical because I don't have the dies, but you just want to be very mindful if you end up with a die set, just that it's going to stay nicely in place. All right. This is just Simon Says Stamp Intense Black. Not that I'm coloring with alcohol markers, but it's just a nice inky black ink. And I'm going to use a new stamp press to me, just that I'm testing out from Pink Fresh Studio. Just allows you to go right over your door nice and smoothly to help transfer the ink. Oh my, that looks really good for a first impression. I'm going to do it one more time. This is why I love this tool. The ability to stamp in the same place, multiple times when you don't get that first impression the way you want it, that's what makes it worthwhile. And then you can look here and say, oh, did I not transfer that ink? Oh, there it is. I just think it's so cool because now, look at that. I have a beautifully stamped image. So we're going to tape this down onto my little tonic mat. This is just a mat I love to work on because it's so easy to clean up, and I love that not only can I tape things down, but I can magnet them in place too. But here's the thing. I actually like having tape and magnets together because you know what? When something slips, it's such a pain in the butt, and you don't want that to happen. So I've got some Simon inks pulled, and I am actually going to be working today with my smaller brushes from Simon because I think these areas on the stencil really call for it. So this one goes with this. So, start by lining up your leaves and then slide and just kind of get it so it's framed in. That looks pretty darn good. And again, tape or magnet, Because I am an over-adheser, I do both. But again, it's nice just to have so it holds it in place. The other thing you can use this tape for if you want is masking. Now, I may not want to get any green on here. All I have to do is just pop that there, right, so it's masked off. I'm not worried about the berries. I think they're far enough away, and I may actually shift that a little. So let's grab a brush. I should tap off a little. I don't know if I have any scratch paper, so I'm just going to tap it here because this is a bit of a firecracker. It's nice and bright, and now I can just blend on my color. And I'm focusing on the outer leaves because I'm going to do something else on the inside. I'm going to try to get it brown, but that'll kind of give me just a little blend in there. Something nice. So then I'm going to bring in some greens, and I think Fairway would be nice, but I also have a darker green if I decide to use it. And again, I can tap some of that off, and I could pick up from there too. It's just a very deep color. And we're just going to blend that on for some pretty green leaves. Yeah. You can see why you don't need much, but why the smaller brushes are so nice. Just go a little deeper. This is kind of cool. I don't even need to bring in another color. I can just gently shade in there at the depth. Isn't that nice where you just kind of bring it up and shade a little. Just make it a little deeper right there at the bottom. Peachy. And we'll make our little berries orange. I think that will be just lovely. Pick this up, and let's take a look at how this layer looks. Oh, isn't that fun? I've taken another part of the stencil, and it takes just a minute to figure out, what goes with what. Look, my nails match the project. I didn't plan that, I swear. Okay, moving on. Random thought. I think I'm going to use a warm gray to fill in, let's see here. Let's wipe this down. The frame, because there is a frame in here and you can see it, and this is going to give a little dimension as we work our way around. And I can see the frame here and here, and then we'll just go around and I'll just go ahead and color this in, and you can just go back over it as many times as you like. I think I will go even a little darker in here because it would have shadowing on it naturally, right? Now we're going to stamp our greeting. Sometimes I have to pick it up, but I think that is going to be beautiful. You can also look at your Misty and look at that line. It cuts right through perfectly, so we know we're very lined up here. I'm going to use my anti-static powder to just go over the flowers, just so that nothing sticks. I can easily brush this away too. That's the nice thing about this piece, but I'll add my anti-static powder and ink up my stamp. Now the 4U is pretty delicate, so I don't know if I want to stamp it more than once. You got it, you're going to do it. So let's press, give it time to transfer, lift. It's probably going to be good. Just a little more. Just a little tap like that, okay? I'm going to trim this down a little bit, and I feel like it's going to be just fine. So let's avoid most of the flower. I don't know how damp the ink is, the stamp ink. So, oh, actually, That looks really good. Oh, that is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, I love it. I'm going to cut this down a little because you know me, I like a good panel. Plus, it will help to flatten this because it gets, the 80 pound does get a little warpy. So I'm trying to center it and then just go tape it down. It's not going to hurt your die, or it's not going to hurt your paper. I'm going to grab my plates and I'm going to do it right on my, there we go. I should have had that angled a little bit, but I kind of popped it on a little straight. Now I lift it up. Tape does not tear paper. Panel is beautiful. I have folded a piece of the orange peel cardstock. Foam tape on the back. This panel is mostly flattened, but this really helps. And again, over adhesion, I have no problem with this. I really love this card. And press that down. And that is the finished card project. It's so elegant, right? Oh gosh, should I put some sequins on? Boop. All right. Boop. Little guy there. I was going to go with a bigger one in the center, but boop, I don't want to. I want it to be a little more subtle. Boop. Sorry. And right there. And that is the finished card project. So sometimes, you know, just a little zip of color. I think this is so pretty and so simple. It's, you know, a labor of love, but I love how it turned out. Now I'm going to go take a quick nap or have 1 or 2 shots of espresso, and then we'll move on to the next card. Next, I've brought in my mink. Listen to that beautiful sound. Okay, we're going to let that kind of beep, beep, beep a little bit off camera. I'm going to put it on this mat because I don't like my works mat, which is more of a, you know, a self-healing, to be injured. Okay, and these are just here. One thing you are going to need if you don't have one, you're going to need what's called a carrier sheet. And you can do this with any laminator, by the way. I have a couple different laminators, but this is just easy for on camera. And I have a piece of parchment paper. This is kitchen parchment, super easy to just grab a piece, cut it down. Granted, it's usually pretty rolled at first, right? Oh, there, it's ready. But I will cut a piece that's usually, what is this, 5.5 by 5.5, because I want it to be able to fit through my mink. And I take a piece of heavy cardstock, and this serves as my carrier sheet, right? If you have a mink, you may have the the funky fancy carrier sheet that comes with it. I do not. I have long since lost that. So I just use a homemade carrier sheet. If you have a deco foil set, you may also have it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab our scissors, right? And we're going to, oh, you can also use this just through a die cutting machine, apparently. So you can transfer it using pressure. I've got the instructions, but what I'm going to do, let's take one out fully. And I'm going to, where are my scissors? I'm going to grab my scissors because I'm going to make a few leaves on some cardstock. And I like the size of this, right? Because they're small. So these have an adhesive. And what we're going to do is we're going to peel this apart. Right, get it started here. Well, there we go. All right, peel that off. This is why you can use it on with just pressure only. But I am going to do it this way. All right, take that off like that. Okay, and I'm going to place this down on my carrier sheet or on my cardstock. I want to make sure that I have room to cut my foil because there we go. See, we're peeling again. Because I I am going to fussy cut. I think I have to put this on first and then peel off. Let's try it. Okay, I'm gonna pop this in my carrier sheet and I'm gonna run it through. Okay. So I'm gonna hope that this transferred and then I can add my foil, but I could be, no, I did it wrong. Okay, that is not right. No, it did transfer. I got it. I forgot. This is how it goes. Okay, we're good. It's adhesive and you can barely see it. Cathy Zielske, you're just a riot. Okay. Yep, it's an adhesive transfer. Did not need to do that, but let's look at this very carefully now. Can you see the adhesive transfer? This is why you don't actually need heat. But now we're going to go like that, right? Did we get it all? Well, we're close. And this friend here, okay? Now, again, don't necessarily need adhesive for or heat for this, but I'm going to run this through. Okay. This is a wild card making day. Okay. Pulling this back. Now let's do our peel and reveal and hope that it works beautifully. Oh yes, look at that. Oh my goodness gracious. It just looks like gold-plated. Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. Let's get the last one off here and then I'll show you. Oh, look at the color and the shine. What? Okay, that is crazy cool. I am going to fussy cut these off camera with my scissors just to save a little time today so that I can use these to build up my card project. So I've fussy cut my flowers and I think what I want to do is create an arrangement that looks like this. And I did just change my mind and decided I want to foil the title too. And I am going to heat set this because for me it's just an easier way. So I will go ahead and foil this as well and then we'll start to build our card. I've popped this up on the other piece of the orange peel. I'm obsessed with the orange peel cardstock. I think it is absolutely beautiful. And what I'm going to do is just create an arrangement. And I'm going to glue some of these just directly to the note card. And I'm going to pop up the maple leaf. That is a maple leaf, right? Should it go this? You know what? I actually kind of like it coming out that way more, even though I think it's supposed to go the other way. But you know what? I think I'm okay with that. I'm going to take this out first. Just put a little tape on the back to hold it in place. Okay, like that. I also like the idea of this popping into, oh shoot, I didn't get enough on there. Let's see, my tape runner just ran out. I'll just grab a different, there we go. All right, it always happens when I'm on camera. Okay, we're gonna pop this here because I like the idea of just a little jut into the margin, right? Little tape on here. And again, I'm just trying to visualize where this will pop up and make sure that is close enough to the greeting, right? Like that. And you're going to come in here. So just, you know, just a little shiny cluster. Clustering is not like my forte, but I feel like I'm getting better at it. Now I will take some thin foam squares from Simon and I will pop it up. Dimension. Oh, so cute. Isn't that fun? Look at the shine here. I mean, and you could, you know, you could layer in more if you wanted to as well. I think I will grab a few more sequins. Not that it needs more shine, but I actually kind of like this little arrangement. So again, let's get my connect glue here. Boop. I like this boop and swoop. The boop and whoop, tucking it under. Love that. One here, just because. And two down here for a lovely odd number. But notice each sequin boop, does have a connection to the core of this design. Very asymmetrical. And that's my second card. I think it's really pretty. And again, the foil, you know, and fussy cutting, look at me. Another hot tip. If you don't have dies and you want a fussy cut, using a white panel for your base kind of hides any imperfection of your fussy cutting. So keep that in mind. You don't have to be great at it, but I will say having a quality pair of scissors like the ones you get in this kit definitely help. All right, let's move on to a simpler foiling project. For the next card, we're going to keep it much simpler and we're going to do the pressure technique. So I have got a panel already trimmed down here, and you want to be careful not to touch the back, right? But this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and I'm going to pop this right basically in the center. Oh, that looks pretty good, right? Sure, okay. Lightly tap it into place because it's got adhesive. Now let's go over to the die cut machine. And this is without any heat, right? We're going to just add pressure with our plates, okay? So I am going to make sure my plates are clean. I don't want anything wonky happening here. And we're going to run this through. We're going to peel off the backer. Now, here's what I'm going to do though. I'm going to let you in a little tip. Sometimes I close cut this because it can leave a little bit of an impression around the edge sometime, but that does not look, oh, that doesn't look bad at all. Okay, but what I do want to do, I'm just going to take a whole piece of foil like that because I can still use all the other pieces, but I don't want my foil also to impress. So we're going to go like this. And now let's go back to the die cut cam. Lift this up and then just peel back. And that is a beautiful foiling just with pressure, right? So you don't have to have and I have all this extra foil left, okay? So we're going to move on and just get a simple greeting on here to make the simplest card, I think, of our batch today. I think this thanks will just be beautiful underneath. And I love that this dips down. We can get close. Now here's the thing. I could do this in black ink for something really kind of just simple and regal. Or I could emboss it in gold and see what that looks like. Let's try that. I mean, it might be cool to have a couple tones of gold. I don't have any of this sort of copper embossing powder. I don't think I do. Let's go ahead and ink this up. Thanks. And it's such an elegant script. I really like it. I've got things sticking to me all over. I think I'll go ahead and just give that one more little bop of ink. And let's add our powder. Let's sprinkle it on. That. Nice little coating. Like that. That is gorgeous. And now you have your shimmery thanks. Oh, I love it. All I did with this card is I took a piece of matte gold cardstock and I actually cut out the center to save. And I'm just going to pop this up on the green apple or apple green. I can never remember. Card panel. One foiled leaf is all you need for something. Let's get that lined up here. That looks beautiful. And we did this without any heat. This is only pressure. So look at how pretty that is with all the shine. And for now, that's the finished card. We are keeping this one super simple. All right, let's move on. For the next card, I went ahead and stamped one more image onto a piece of 110 pound Nina Solar White. And I figure because you've already seen me talk you through, I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little, put on some music, and we'll stencil in all of our color. How cool is that? Oh, and what was so great about this one is that the stencil just worked its way up for this image. So it actually might be the same for the others, and I wasn't even paying attention to that, but you know, that's what happens. But that is how the stencils work. So I'm just going to let this dry, and then we're going to stamp a greeting and turn this into a card. I've got my little thanks for everything greeting here. All right, I'm going to make sure this is nicely positioned, make sure that clears the magnet, and I will use my anti-static powder. Powder that up. And I'll dust all of that off, of course, but let's go ahead and take our Versamark or any watermark pad that you have, embossing ink, and let's bring it down. Okay, I already lost my other stamp tool. All right, I'll bring this stamp tool in, press, right, and one more tap of ink just to get it nice and inky, and I'll just use my fingers for that, okay? That looks great. All right, I'm going to use the same powder. Kind of pour it away from the image, but it's not going to stick to the image. This will be just fine. Little tap off. Oh my goodness, that is going to be just gorgeous. All right. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is just beautiful. Now, let me grab my cloth, embossing powder, or the anti-static powder off my image. And I think, gosh, I am actually tempted to bust out a really old stitched die. I am going to use a die I have not used in forever. This is a Lawn Fawn small dotted rectangle, and this was one of the first shape dies that I ever purchased. And I think I would like to have a little trim of this. So we're going to crop just a little, right? And then it's going to come right to the edge and down a little. I'm going to tape this into place up here. That. Coming on over. Oh, my whole die cam setup is a little wonky. I was I bumped into my camera that I have over here and I didn't reset it. It's all good. Let's cut this out to see the dot. Oh, it's so fun. Yes, I love that. Let's look at it on the other camera. I love the little dots going through. How cute is that? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to pop this in a book, and then we're going to pop it on a note card. To finish this card, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this on the lipstick. I also made a white note card, which is very elegant, but you know I always go with white. Or should I take some of this yellow cardstock from the kit and make that a note card? It doesn't really matter, but I'm just kind of showing you when you go with these color palettes, you really can go with just about any of the colors in the kit. But you know, just to be different, I'm going to go with the red. I think this is quite beautiful. I'm just going to take the backers off and pop it up. Like that. And that is the finished card project. I actually really like this, just simple like that. And again, this would be great to pop into the white envelope. I can't find the white envelope right now, but I love how this looks with the little pops of red here, right? And then I did some of the berries in the brown just to kind of create a whole vibe. So that is this card. Let's move on to our final card. I want to show you something else you can do with this foil, and that is you can create your own little pattern for your panel, and you can use double-sided adhesive tape to make it stick. Now here's what I'm going to do. I don't know how well this will stick to this mat, but it might. I just want to hold this in place so this doesn't shift. This is just a piece of scrap paper. And what I'm going to do, actually I might have wanted this piece to be a little bigger. You know what? Because I don't want to get double-sided tape on my, there we go. Let's try this. Just a little bit of wastefulness, but you know what? Good. I don't want this to shift though when I'm lining stuff up. So I'm going to tape you down there. and tape you down here. Okay? Then all I'm going to do is, I've got some of this Terrific tape, and this is in 1/4 inch. Now you can use any size double-sided tape that you have. Actually, I'm just going to cut this if I could find my scissors. Get scissors. Okay. I think what I'll do is I want to eyeball this. You know what? I just decided I'm gonna have to go like this because I want to be able to have it angled, and I feel like these guides here are going to make it easy for me to do that. So I was going to use a paper trimmer, but honestly, this is just as quick if you just line up and go like that and just snip. And the last one, snip. And now I can look here, and if anything needs to be kind of pressed down, I can do that too. Or I can just come in and go, whoop, make sure that's nice and straight, although that all looks really good. Now I've got my simple stripe pattern, right? And I'm going to burnish this down like this. Just give it a nice burnish so that these really do stay adhered. Okay. And we'll just go in and take all of the backers off to expose the adhesive. Oh my gosh, these release so nicely. Sometimes when I use regular score tape, it takes me forever to get the backers off. This is amazingly smooth. Wow. This is actually the first time I'm using it, and it's very, very nice. Okay, coming on up. Coming on up. You know, I probably could have trimmed this down after the fact. Then I get all that extra adhesive off on the edges, but we'll see. I still could trim it down. Now, can you see in there? There it is. See the adhesive? Okay, now here comes the fun. Take your foil, press it down like this, and all we're going to do is burnish the foil into that adhesive. And you can see it, right? It starts to show up. Pretty cool. I don't think I have to do it more than that, but can you see how that's coming in there like that? And maybe I'll flip it over once and just give it a nice that and that. And then when we lift it up, we have a beautiful piece, and I can save that too. But now I have a really pretty foiled panel. And if you've got little areas where you're like, maybe that didn't quite stick in there, you can always just go back over it because there is adhesive in there. So maybe that actually kind of picked up the adhesive. Well, maybe it didn't. All right, I'm going to give that a gentle, there we go. So now I have this beautiful, shiny little piece with a little bit of adhesive on the edges. So I'll just go like that. I actually think I will cut it down. I'm going to make this kind of turn into a bit of a mini card, I think, but I do like that. Don't do what I did over there because that sort of mucked up the foil. Actually, you know what? I think it's good. So this would look beautiful popped up on here. So let me go ahead and pop this up and then we'll add a greeting. Off camera, I went ahead and stamped Thanks for Everything and embossed in that same gold. And I thought it would be really cute just to pop it over here, which also kind of covers up my boo-boo. But I also went ahead and foiled a couple more of the adhesive transfers, and I fussy cut them, which, you know, it's not the greatest. No one's going to hand out an award for my fussy cutting, but I wondered if this would look cute just kind of positioned behind, maybe like that. You know, or maybe even, I don't know, maybe just one? I don't even know. I haven't decided. But I was just trying to build up a little texture here. Maybe it doesn't need it, to be honest with you. I don't know. It's not bad, though, because I kind of think, what if that were here, right? And then this was glued behind it. Actually, I think that's kind of cute. But you know what? It's just to add some texture, so let's do it. For this, I think I will just, again, get this out here, just grab some tape runner, right? It doesn't have to be glued down any fancy way. So I'll go here, move that out of the way like that, knowing that this will cover that part up. Yep. And then again, I'm only going to do it just at the bottom because I kind of want the greenery or goldery to kind of fly free. So we're just going to kind of go like that, and I'll just have that pop out like that. So that could be, you know, a little zhuzhed if you wanted. And now we'll take the backer off. I will look for my tweezers, which, there they are, buried underneath the wreckage. And I'm going to put a little liquid glue on here just so I have a bit of wiggle room before I commit to my placement. And I'm also going to bring in my Simon Says Stamp T-Square because this is really great for things like this. So you want to hold this in place. It gives you the ledge you need, although now I feel like my hand is at an awkward angle. But I'm going to put this in here, right? Hold it tight, and then I can take this friend and just, you know, that's awkward. I know this is going to seem weird, but I got to turn it. You got to turn it. I got to do it with my other hand. There we go. That's what we're going to do. Don't be afraid, right, to do what you got to do to get the cards done. So let's go like that, and we're just going to pop it up right there. So that way we're pressed right up against the edge like that, and that is our super gold. Look at that. Super gold finished card. And this one for sure, I'm going to grab that white envelope, would be fantastic, right? Just a very gold, shiny thanks for everything. And that's card number 5. Let's take a look at all the cards together. So this is a little unusual for me because most of my designs tend to be portrait, but I love doing what I consider landscape cards, right? And these just are, this is just a really fun collection. So again, our first card, use the stencil in a way that I totally didn't really understand until we got to that one, how smartly designed they are, but there you go. Here is my foiling, right? And this is one that I did use the heat on. I get better results personally when I do heat, but look at that. Oh, I love it. That little gathering. And again, fussy cutting, not going to win any awards, but it doesn't really matter when you've got mostly a white background, right? Then we did our simple one with just pressure, right? This is just a pressure transfer. And of course, matting it on the matte gold, putting it on this green, and embossing our thanks with some gold powder. Here, I feel like I hit the groove, right? This is just, oh, I just love it. Love that stencil and how easy. Look at how well colored that is. I mean, I did that without markers. And our last card, which I do think is kind of fancy. It's a little, you know, it took a while to get there, and I probably should have pulled this down ever so slightly, but you know what? Once it's stuck, and we're not putting anything else on that because look at that shine. So those are the finished cards for today's unboxing. Of course, as always, you can find a link to the November card kit below in the YouTube description box. My total supplies are a bit too long, so I will have a blog post linked as well if you want to see some of the other products that I did bring into this video. If you're not a subscriber to this kit, you can subscribe. Get this goodness delivered to your door. It is kind of fun, I'm not going to lie, to have no idea what's coming and to open up the box and let your ideas flow. I'll have a link in the description as well for setting up a subscription, and of course, you can cancel it at any time. Thanks so much for watching today. If you'd like to see other kit unboxings that I've done, I've got 2 thumbnails below for you to check out. It is, again, a very similar video to this. They're a little longer. We work our way through, and hopefully we end up with card goodness.